Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be starting a play round of a weaponless Argonian warden on Elder Scrolls Online. So essentially what I wanted to do was make a character that didn't use any weapons and just have a fun time. And why warden, you say? Well, I wanted to make something completely ridiculous, so the thought of a giant lizard commanding other animals to fight for him while he's punching enemies seemed like a pretty good idea. So you can see here that we're kind of messing around with the idea of what the Argonian looks like. It has a really cool color palette, which I like. So we eventually went back to this black colored and then with a cool white striping around him, which I thought was pretty neat. So we're going to edit the head, and I was really enjoying how the different angles of the heads changed. It's just so ridiculous compared to all the other more humanoid characters, and I thought it was hilarious. So eventually we decided between a heroic and a soft position, and then of course I had to go with this awesome head and then afro and then make it white to sort of match the rest of the body, and of course the two nose fangs and then the red things around the eyes and then eye color of gold and then the eye size like that. So now we're going back to the name. Catch These Hands was the first one, which I thought was pretty good but was not received well, and then Terror of Fists, which was spelled wrong. Punches with Feeling was pretty good, and then we eventually came with the idea with Punches Without Fear, and that is not what we chose, just kidding. Punches All Things is what we ended up going with. So let's go ahead and create this character, hop in, and start playing the Elder Scrolls Online. So the first thing that we see after loading back in is my complete mess of add-ons. So we clear those, and then we see that we have a weapon in our hand. Absolutely not. So we take that off. And then after we take the weapon off, we go ahead and add the armor that we have in our inventory. So go ahead to be a little bit more prepared. Look at the drip. And now we're finally ready to continue, except that I just leveled up. So I'm going to go ahead and put a point in Magicka, and then I'm going to put a point in Dive, and then we're finally, we're going to level up again, and then we're going to put a point into Winter's Embrace, Frost Cloak 1. Now we're finally ready to begin, and we start talking to the hooded figure who tells us to go find the benefactor. So now we are finally experiencing our journey as our Argonian puncher for the first time. So this should be fun. I go ahead and try to get my mount out, and then as I'm walking around struggling, I try to figure out what button I have selected to pull out my mount, and then I pull out my mount. We're finally ready to get going. Oh wait, just kidding. I'm gonna go ahead and look at my champion points, which I do have quite a bit of. Now that we have finally finished all that business, we start actually going out on our adventure. Now on the way, we see in the map that I have quite a big distance I have to make, and I start getting a thirst for blood. Now, like any rational human being or lizard being, I decide to get off my mount and finally indulge my taste for blood by using my newfound combat skills. I use my Winter's Embrace abilities, and then I use my Dive abilities to take out the first, and from there I just go harder. Now that I have indulged my taste for blood, we decide to keep going a little bit further until I get bored yet again by the base in the distance, and we decide to take a quick stop and visit these lovely people over here. Now that we have that combat out of the way, it's probably time we start making some rational decisions in our map adventuring. So we find this way shrine, and as I'm passing it, I realize that I can teleport a little bit closer to where I need to go. Now if I were smart, I would have looked to see at which country or which territory we were going to, but I don't, and I just go to the way shrine that is here. And as I finally get here, I hope that I am close to where I need to be. Now I've been doing a lot of venturing at this point, and I'm slightly lower level, so I want to get to where I need to go fast so I can start to get a little bit upgraded in terms of armor and skills and such. So I'm hoping as I load into Stone Falls that I don't really have that much further to go.
That's quite big. Impressive.